First up is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. This is a 1988 movie starring Steve Martin, Michael Caine, and Glenn Hadley. And it's directed by Frank Oz, my second Frank Oz movie. If this movie sounds familiar, I talked about it a little while ago because I watched what I didn't know was a remake of this movie. That was The Hustle. Yeah, watching this makes me hate The Hustle even more because The Hustle is just it's just a straight like scene for scene, shot for shot remake of this movie. They did make like a couple changes, but every change they made was the wrong decision. Like it just made the movie worse and less smart and less clever and less interesting. Um, yeah, it's wrong on every single level. This movie's amazing. I love it. Steve Martin is just incredible. Like I was thinking throughout the movie, like every time he's doing like some like silly bit or something, and I'm like, if anyone else was doing what he's doing, I would think it's ridiculous. I would think it's over the top. I would think it's dumb and not funny. But the way he does his physical humor is just it's got like a subtlety to it that's just hilarious. Like him even just like glaring at someone. It's funny. He just knows how to make people laugh, and he is just incredible in this role. I'd also say that Glenn, as soon as she showed up about 45 minutes into the movie. It's about 2 hours long. And as soon as she showed up, everything just got, she elevated the entire movie. Like it really energized both of these guys, especially because they had like a specific idea or drive they were going after. But like, in just her presence, like she just has like this chemistry with everyone around her, and like her voice kind of just like transported me to someplace else. I don't know what it was. I think it had to do with the fact that like I've seen her in so much stuff over the years I didn't even realize. The biggest thing from her for me from her is she was in a few episodes of Monk, and she really stood out in those. And yeah, she's just great. Easily though, the weakest of the three is Michael Caine. Like he's solid, he's fine, he does the job. He's kind of like the straight man sort of ish. And yeah, I don't know. I almost want to say that he's kind of miscast. I feel like there were other actors from this time that could have done like the more like pretentious British person that he's doing. Um, yeah, and yeah, it's so good, so funny. Um, and actually, I read this whole thing on Reddit about how like so the Hustle's supposed to be like a gender flop version of this movie, but actually this one is basically a feminist reimagining of the original, which is called Bedtime Story. I think it stars Marlon Brando. Um, because like it flips like gender stereotypical gender roles. It flips them. Also, it honestly like the way the movie ends. Um, I don't remember if I spoiled it in The Hustle. I don't want to spoil it here if I haven't or if you forgot. It's a bunch of con artists. That's what the whole movie's about, is con artists. But the ending is it I don't know how to say it exactly. It's empowering to women. It's a good, it's smart. It gives women such depth, character, and characterization. I don't know how to say the words and say it. It's good. This movie's just good. All right, let's just go with that. It's just great. I love it's solid. It's so solid. I'm definitely gonna watch this one again. Now on to Just Friends. This is a 2005 movie starring Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart, Anna Faris, and Chris Klein. Um, the basic premise is it's just a rom com. They were just friends in high school, and now he's like Ryan Reynolds is a big hot shot. Come back to small town, and he's trying to bang his old high school crush. Um, I remember watching this back in the day and enjoying it. That's fine. Good times back then. So I kind of went into this thinking, this is either going to be really terrible or it's going to be really awesome. And honestly, I enjoyed it. It was surprisingly decent. Um, I legit laughed several times. There was definitely some like dated jokes and dated language that's like, yeah, you probably should have said it. You probably should have phrased it that way. But it's very of its time. the biggest thing though is that like, so Ryan Reynolds just plays like a jackass the entire movie, but like you can tell he has a good heart and he's like going towards a good place. And like, all right, he's gonna apologize for all the bad stuff he's doing. He's just has like he's just been a sleazeball this whole life because he had like he claims he got messed up by her, but really it's just like emotions are complicated, and so like we're gonna kind of talk out all of our emotions, and then like when we kiss it'll be really worthwhile because like everything will be out on the table and we'll really have grown as people. But like he just shows back up at the end and they just kiss, and I'm like, wait, did they do anything they needed to do to actually get this earned? Did they earn this ending? And I don't think they did. I really don't think they did. I think they just got back together, or got together because they're hot and they need to get together. Yeah, and it's really annoying because like they were right there. They easily could have had this incredible ending where it's just expressing emotions and being really mature and stuff, but instead it's just whatever it was. It was okay. Which is disappointing because like the movie's solid. Also, I just want to say Ryan Reynolds now is super hot and he's cute in this, but like hot damn Chris Klein, he is just a dreamboat. Also, Amy Smart is really cute, but damn Chris Klein, it's coming from a straight man. I feel like I do talk about how attractive dudes are a lot in here, and it's kind of surprising that I'm not gay or bi, but I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality to admit when a dude's attractive. Like, yeah, I don't know. And lastly, Chris Claremont's X-Men. This is a 2018 documentary about Chris Claremont, the comic book writer. Is my fourth documentary. And yeah, it's awful. It's complete shit. It was shot poorly. It was edited poorly. Things just like individual stories that were told in here were interesting, but then like we weren't given a broader context for why they were important, and then like they would just suddenly jump into another story like we should immediately understand the context of what's happening. And it's like I don't what is going on. Like a prime example of how way this movie was bad was Chris Claremont was sitting on a couch with two of his editors, and he was sitting just like leaned back. His big old gut is just like center frame, just taking up everything. His head looks tiny, his gut looks huge, and it's like even though he's wearing like kind of like a suit jacket and stuff, it's all like messed around, kind of like he's just like been just sitting chilling with his friends, which he clearly is. And it's just it looks bad. It looks unprofessional. I don't know if I said this yet. It looks like this was filmed by a high schooler who has rich parents with connections. So like he somehow got to meet all of these famous comic book people, and then also some really stylized shots of cosplayers. But then yeah, it just is a jumbled mess of a crap thing. And like initially I wasn't even gonna put it as down low as I ended up putting it, but like because like again those stories in there were interesting, some of them, but it was the more I thought about the movie, the more angry I got. It's just total garbage. If you're interested in actually knowing about Chris Claremont's run on X-Men, just read Wikipedia. You're gonna understand everything more, and it's just gonna make more sense and be told more straightforward. This is bad. Okay, last thing I want to say though is that this movie is only 70 minutes long, but it felt like it was like 3 hours long. Like I legit kept thinking to myself, "Oh my god, I bet it's like 2 a.m. now," and I'm like, "Oh, it's only midnight. Wow. Okay. All right. We're not even halfway done. Cool. Fun times." I hated it.